Tonight on News 13.
A water main break caused a little extra work for some city workers here in Hazleton today. We'll tell you how the city handled shoveling themselves out of this storm. I'll have that story.
They were calling for 6 to 8 inches, and that's exactly what they got. I'll tell you what extra measures Schuylkill County borough workers are taking to make sure your roads are clean.
An area mother behind bars after a school nurse finds painful bruises on her son's body. We'll tell you what happened.
This is News 13 now.
Yep, it was just that kind of day. Shovel your way out of anywhere from 3 to 8 inches of snow, then take to the streets in four-wheel drive, which makes it easy to go, but not always easy to stop. Surviving the sleet and snow, our top story for this Wednesday. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to News 13 Now. I'm Kathy Bazinski. Well, fortunately, schools, businesses, just about everything was closed this morning as some heavy snow topped by a coating of sleet blanketed the area overnight. Then, just as crews began to clear roads late this morning, one last dose of freezing rain made for dangerous travel. It resulted in a number of minor crashes all around the region, including this 3-car crash right in downtown Hazleton. The SUV was traveling east on Fern Street when it skidded right through the intersection with Laurel Street and struck a black van that was going north on Laurel. After the impact, the black van slid across the roadway and into a parked car on the east side of Laurel Street. The SUV and black van both had to be towed away. Fortunately, neither of the drivers were hurt. Hazleton City Police and Fire Department both responded to the call this morning. They say on the icy road surface, the vehicles just couldn't stop. Well, if you live anywhere in Luzerne or Schuylkill counties, you've probably had it with shoveling and skidding around. Winter Storm Nika packed a wallop, but she's out of here. And now conditions and life in Greater Hazleton are finally getting back to normal. Christina Papa live downtown Hazleton with more on current conditions and our big snow day. Christina.
That's right, Kathy. I'm live here in downtown Hazleton, and if you take a quick look behind me, the roads are looking much better than they did this morning. It took all day, but the sidewalks are shoveled today. I met up with some people here in Hazleton as they worked to shovel their way out of last night's storm. Take it from Joe Guidish. Shoveling this heavy, wet snow isn't an easy task.
It's back-breaking, but that's the weather on you. You can't do nothing about it.
By 10 this morning, Joe was clearing a path outside the Salvation Army where he works on Broad Street.
I thought we wasn't going to be open, but...
And while Joe cleared the sidewalks, Brian Lloyd was on snow plowing duty.
When we're getting there, just keep going until it's all done. It's a little wet, a little heavy. You could, just take your time and get through it.
He's been out since 3 this morning and plans to be on the roads till things clear up.
It's a bad one. I've seen worse, but this one's pretty bad.
Road conditions and the piles of snow blocking cars in kept most people from getting behind the wheel today.
Today, really, I don't see too many people out. I would think a lot of people stayed home, which was good for me. Traffic is bad when you're out here.
So instead, some went walking. The layer of ice, and then if you can break through it, more snow underneath makes it just difficult to walk in. So you can only imagine how hard it was for city employees to work in it. Jason woke up to more than just snow outside.
A whole bunch of snow and probably about 7 inches of water in front of my house. So it was kind of a mess.
Hazleton's Water Authority worked to fix a water main break right outside Jason Smolinski's house. The muddy water streamed down the road, making for an icy mess.
With all the water, it bogs down the snow blower and, it makes us each shovel about, 50 pounds. So, it's a lot of work.
And then there were the few who decided to find some shelter, maybe take a trip to the mall.
Well, I was doing some birthday shopping for my little guy.
This shopping trip didn't turn out the way Melody Funk expected. Many stores, including the Laurel Mall, had delayed openings because of the storm.
Well, yeah, with the weather the way it is. It took us a while just to leave. The weather's kind of what they have to do to be safe. The Laurel Mall did open up around 1 o'clock today, but if you take a quick look behind me, the snow plows are actually still on the road right now, and things seem to be getting back to normal here in Hazleton otherwise. And that's reporting from News 13 here in Hazleton. I'm Christina Papa.
Thanks a lot, Christina. So let's check in on Schuylkill County, where a combined effort among police, street departments, and plow trucks helped to get things up and running again. Samantha Galvez with how it all came together.
They were calling for 6 to 8 inches, and that's exactly what they got.
Up here, there was like 8 inches of snow here, and on here, and it's covered with ice on the top, and it's heavy. Underneath, it was wet like.
But for Steven Smetana, the snow wasn't the worst thing he's had to weather during this storm.
And yesterday I was out of water for 4 days.
No water, he says, for 4 days means no showers, nothing out of the faucet, and no washing machine access.
You can't do anything. You can't. I had to go out and get some snow and just to flush the toilets with melt snow down.
And while Steve is thankful to have his water turned back on today, others had a hard time just leaving their own street. News 13 spoke with community members who are taking extra measures to make sure people are staying safe on the roads.
We were driving around, we saw this individual hung up on some snow, so we helped him out.
Here at the borough, we are cleaning up after the snowstorm, shoveling the sidewalks around the borough building itself, cleaning up the parking lot, and then of course cleaning up all the streets.
Workers are saying this snowstorm has been especially difficult to clean up with the added freezing rain.
It's been difficult because it's almost like a sleet, freezing rain type of mess on top of the fluffy snow. So the snow is easy, but once you get the ice and junk on top of it, that's what makes it more difficult.
It was heavy, and I couldn't believe it was that thick on a shovel.
And with the reoccurring snowstorms one after another, it makes keeping the roads clean even more of a challenge.
I mean, it's definitely, harder when you get multiple storms in a row. There's only like a day in between, then we may get another one, so that makes it more difficult.
But for now, the best way to stay safe is to avoid being out on the roads as much as possible.
The best thing people could do actually is just stay off the roadways and let us do our jobs. Stay in. Most people don't have work or there's no school, so stay until we get everything cleaned up, and by tonight everything will be fine.
Samantha Galvez, News 13, McAdoo.
So you may have shoveled your sidewalks, but have you shoveled out the hydrant in front of your house? Well, if you haven't, it could slow down firefighters in an emergency. There are nearly 300 hydrants in Hazleton, and with all hands on deck during this storm, Hazleton's fire department just beginning to dig out some hydrants so they don't waste precious moments getting to them should a fire erupt. But for your own safety, the department is asking residents to dig out hydrants on your own street. It's not the law to keep the hydrants clean, but if it could help you and your neighbors, one idea: adopt a hydrant to have neighbors take turns shoveling it out.
Everybody would adopt a hydrant that's close to their house. So if you have a hydrant and you're out clearing your snow, take a little extra minute and just clear around it first. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get out and we'll be clearing some of them, and then hopefully we won't get any snow on Sunday. Like I said, it's not an ordinance or a law, but most people people's patience are running thin with parking spots, and people are plowing snow, and that's another thing. We ask that if they plow the snow to the corner, not to bury a hydrant or leave a pile where we can't get into a hydrant to use it.
Once again, it's in the best interest of you and your neighbors. Dig out that hydrant so responders can get to it easily in case of fire. And we'll tell you what's next on the horizon in terms of possible snow coming up in just a couple of minutes in News 13 weather. In other news, a disturbing story out of Greater Hazleton tonight. A mother behind bars after her young son went to school Monday and showed officials the bruises on his body. 34-year-old Holly Johnson is facing a number of charges after her 9-year-old son apparently came to school with bruises Monday, told officials he was hit repeatedly with a kitchen spatula. State police at Hazleton say the youngster went to the school nurse because his back was hurting him. Once the nurse saw the extent of the injury, she immediately called police. Police say the child said his mother hit him numerous times with that plastic spatula, causing those bruises. Johnson is charged with endangering the welfare of a child, simple assault, and harassment. She couldn't make $25,000 bail and is in the Luzerne County Correctional Facility tonight. And police in our area are now on the lookout for a tainted batch of heroin that could be to blame for at least 22 deaths in western Pennsylvania over the past couple of weeks. Drug investigators say the heroin, which contains fentanyl, is an opioid that is up to 100 times stronger than morphine, could eventually begin circulating in our region. Police say heroin is a number one drug of choice in Greater Hazleton, at least. Just the past few weeks, there has been a spike in heroin overdoses in the area, but police say they aren't sure if the recent overdoses were caused by the tainted heroin. Police say the danger lies when heroin users hear about a more potent brand and then hit the streets to seek it out.
You would think that it would do just the opposite, but in the drug community, it just does that. They draw towards it and they want that. And it goes in spurts. In this area, maybe we haven't really seen many of them yet. Eventually, it will start to work its way this way, and every so often, maybe every 2 years, 3 years, you start seeing a real high amount of heroin overdoses. So if it's happening in Western PA, I would probably suspect it to start happening in this area.
Now, if you're battling drug abuse and addiction and would like information and help, you can call the number at the bottom of your screen. Still ahead on News 13 now. We made it through the storm, a little icy on the roads tonight, but then tomorrow things actually get sunny. The forecast coming up on News 13 weather, but first.
The Shenandoah Food Pantry has moved its location, and I'll tell you what organization has helped to keep it from going out of business coming up.
You're watching News 13 now, local and loving it.
It's been a big part of helping folks in need in Schuylkill County for the last 23 years, but now it's moving on up. The Shenandoah Food Pantry has moved out of its longtime home in St. Stephen's Hall. Samantha Galvez with more on the big move and the reason for it.
The Shenandoah Food Pantry serves over 200 families each month, but they haven't served any families since November.
There became problems that we had to leave the premises.
Volunteers and employees of the Schuylkill Action Committee learned mid-November that they would have to shut their doors for good.
They could no longer afford us because of heat, electricity problems. So we were informed we would have to find a new place. We would have to relocate.
That's when one volunteer from the Knights of Columbus suggested an idea.
We knew we needed a place where we could store stuff and be able to handle the amount of people we get.
Fast forward 2 months to today, and you'll see the Knights of Columbus have taken the pantry and brought it right to their hall. Those who benefit from the pantry are not only thankful for receiving help, but they say the Knights of Columbus is helping to keep their second family alive.
It's like a family. They help everybody. Everybody helps one another. It's nice. I appreciate it.
The pantry first opened their doors this weekend, and the turnout could not have been any better.
It feels good. It feels real good. That we don't know that we didn't have to stop, because it would have hurt a lot of families in town.
It helps me because I have a family and I'm on a fixed income, and I really depend on this.
The pantry is located on West Cherry Street and will be open on the last Friday of odd-numbered months.
Part of the oath of the Knights of Columbus is to give and help, and that's what we're doing, and we're very proud to do it.
Samantha Galvez, News 13, Shenandoah.
Time now for News 13 weather.
In tonight's weather shot, we're local and loving this guy in McAdoo and all those folks from PennDOT to municipal crews to private contractors who were out all night plowing the snow, keeping the roads open, clearing off driveways and parking lots, and trying to keep everybody safe during and after the storm. Thanks, guys. Checking the National Weather Service radar, Winter Storm Nika was brutal during the overnight, dumping anywhere from 2 to 10 inches of snow, topping it off with some icing, but guess what? Now she's out of here. She leaves us in the cold. Here's News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for Greater Hazleton for tonight. Nika leaves a few scattered flurries through the early evening. Then the skies clears and temperatures drop, the low going down to 14 degrees. Watch out for some slick spots on the roads. And for Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 21, partly cloudy and cold at night with a low around 9, wind chill -2. For Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 22, mostly cloudy. It'll be cold at night, low down to 7 degrees. For Saturday, mostly cloudy with a high near 25. There will be a 30% chance of snow at night with a low dropping to 13. Then Sunday, we're still on the bubble. They had been talking about a major storm. As of right now, that appears to have been scaled back. What we will have as of right now, 40% chance of snow with a high near 25 degrees. Now heading to Schuylkill County for tonight, all precip is out of here and it becomes mostly cloudy and cold. The low down to 13. And for Thursday, mostly sunny but blustery. A high near 24, wind chill 0 degrees. Partly cloudy at night with a low around 10, wind chill again down to 0. And for Friday, partly sunny, high up to 24. Mostly cloudy at night with a low around 10. For Saturday, mostly cloudy with a 30% chance of snow, a high near 26. 40% chance of snow during the overnight with a low around 19. And then Sunday, the farther south you go, snow is likely, about a 60% chance. No word on possible accumulations yet. A high of 27 degrees. A lot of things were closed today, but definitely not the Pennsylvania Lottery. Let's check the winning midday numbers. Good luck if you played. The Daily 932, the Big Four 0601, Quinto 08016, and the Treasure Hunt 11, 17, 25, 26, 29. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, the American Cancer Society Greater Hazleton Unit 2014 Relay for Life Captain and Committee meetings will be held February 19th, March 19th, April 23rd, and May 14th. Meetings are held at the Hinkle Consumer Goods in the Valmont Industrial Park. For more information, please call 570-956-0460. And finally, Elder Wish encourages you to nominate a respected loved one for this year's prize, a unique all-expense-paid vacation for two to the beautiful Woodloch Resorts in the Pocono Mountains. contest is simply this: an essay entitled "Why I Think My Loved One Deserves to Win This Trip." You must be 60 or older. Please submit essays to Elderwish, P.O. Box 1298, Cunningham, PA 18219. At tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Isabel R. Juna, formerly of Drums. Mass is Thursday at 10:30 a.m. at the Good Shepherd Church. Friends may call Thursday from 9 to 10 a.m. at the Butler Chapel of the Cropton Hughes Funeral Home. James A. Hencherek of Hazleton. Arrangements will be announced by the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Leona B. Zazik of West Hazleton. Mass is Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Transfiguration Church. Viewing is Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. The Hillary J. Bonin Funeral Home is assisting the family with the arrangements. Eleanor C. Perch of Whitehaven. Arrangements are by the Lehman Family Funeral Service. Margaret L. Minnick of Hazleton. Funeral is Friday at 11 a.m. from the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 9:30 to 11 a.m. And Anthony P. Corrado, formerly of Hazleton. Funeral is Saturday at 9 a.m. from the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 5 to 8 p.m.
This is News 13 Sports.
Last night was a night to celebrate for the Marion Phillies and the Monomoy area Golden Bears, best animal ever basketball teams. I'll tell you why in a moment, but first let me hit you with Wednesday night's postponements. The swim meet between Hazleton area and Dallas is huge for both the boys and the girls as far as their respective divisions go in the Wyoming Valley Conference. That meet will now take place on Valentine's Day. Tamaulipa's meet with Southern Lehigh has been canceled. In basketball, Penn State Hazleton, the men's and women's games have been postponed. The Shenandoah Valley girls basketball game has also been postponed. Hazleton area and Abington Heights will now wrestle on the 12th at 7 p.m. The junior high wrestlers will go at 5:30. And all Hazleton area school district junior high basketball games have been postponed. Now to hoops and the happy nights for the Monomoy boys and the Marion girls. The Monomoy boys beat Marion 79-23, and the Marion girls beat Monomoy area 74-33. Monomoy area senior Tyler Cavanis had a busy night on the court, and he even locked up our play of the night with this big block.
I knew my guy was over there. I just knew. So I kicked and stopped, and I saw him throw the pass, and I just came over, and I slid my body, so I didn't get any body contact, and I just got a piece of the ball, and luckily it wasn't called a foul, and I just got all ball.
But Cavanis seemed even more active after the Golden Bears senior night victory over Marion that locked up the Schuylkill League Division III title for them. He posed for pictures, handed out hugs, and he even did a post-game interview for a friend.
That's one of our big things that we've been working on.
There's still a long road ahead of them, but after this game, the Golden Bears were able to take a pit stop and enjoy the moment with their family and friends.
Post-game, it's always exciting, especially because it's the last game. Last time we're playing on our home court, it's a little emotional. And last time you're going to see some people here, our cheering section's usually a big thing for us.
In all, 6 seniors, Cavanis, Andy Kuzma, Dylan Maymod, Larry McNeil, Greg Merchlinsky, and Calvin Talbot played their last home game. They have been playing together for a while, and it shows on the court. The ball moves so fast that it's hard to keep up, but their moves off of the court have also impressed their coach.
They've been great athletically, but you look at them in the classroom, you pick up the paper, they're all in the honor roll, they're all involved in every kind of activity. I go to Mass on Sunday, and they're the altar boys up there. You just don't hear a bad word about them. They're just the kind of kids that everybody would love to have.
Fans, family, and friends lingered on the court after the Bears' latest win. It almost seemed like an indoor community block party.
Oh, sure, because it's a small town. It's Monty City, and I'm a lifer here, and I know everybody, and I know all these kids and their families. Most of the parents of the players, were people that I taught. After all those years. So yeah, it's home. So it's a big thing.
That close-knit community has 6 young neighbors they can be proud of. It was also senior night at Marion Catholic High School. The Phillies got the victory, and Marion gets our number 7 play of the night for this classy act. The Phillies honored the Monomoy area seniors before their game on Tuesday night. To the action now at number 6, Gabby Green grabs the steal for Marion, and then she performs this sweet no-look pass to Abby Wilden, who scores. Vanessa White-Cabbage and her 2 first-quarter three-pointers for the Phillies come in at number 5. Our number 4 spot goes to everyone who played offense for the Monomoy area boys last night. They moved so fast I just couldn't keep up, and I couldn't pick just one play, so here you go. Number 3 goes to Marion's Lindsay Nemeth, who caught fire in the first for Marion. She hit 3 big threes to help boost the Phillies. Nick Wesner gets our number 2 play for his left-handed put-in, and he would get a bonus shot at the line, and he would make that as well. And here's Golden Bear Tyler Cavanis at number 1. If an actual bear who lives in the woods blocked a shot, this is what it would look like with a powerful block. Let's go quickly to the News 13 scoreboard, and we start with girls basketball. Hazleton area and Shenandoah Valley both won on Tuesday. North Schuylkill and Jim Thorpe were also winners, and Pottsville and Williams Valley also posted W's. To the boys, where Hazleton area also got a victory along with the MMI Preppers. It was a close one between Shenandoah Valley and Weatherly, and North Schuylkill beat Pine Grove. In the pool, the Hazleton girls won, and the boys, they fell to Wyoming Seminary. At the Lanes, where the Cougars swept Berwick, the boys were led by Anthony Sidari with a game high of 234 and a series high of 657. The girls were paced by Jamie Kalaga, who had a high series with a 641 and a high game with a 246. That's all for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, take it easy.